Hello viewers, I'm Lucky Balaraman from calmandcool.com. Welcome to my interview with Christine Breese. Christine Breese has a Doctor of Divinity degree in Metaphysical Sciences and a PhD in Metaphysical Counseling. She's the founder of the University of Metaphysical Sciences and is the author of Reclaiming the Shadow Self, as well as a director of the TV series Spirit Talk. Dr. Breese has studied a variety of world philosophies and has developed a unique style of teaching. Her method focuses on intensive, guided meditation in order to facilitate direct and profound experiences of expanded states of consciousness. These direct experiences provide the opportunity to realize the truth of the self. In her presentations, Christine helps people through discussion and meditation to explore awareness and how consciousness itself works. She additionally helps people find practical ways to work into daily life what they find in meditation, with discussions ranging from living from the heart, surrendering to service, manifesting skills, to what enlightenment is and what it is not. She also teaches classes on lucid dreaming, aura viewing, and past life regression. Dr. Breese has overseen the development of a wide and diverse curriculum at the University of Metaphysical Sciences. However, at the core of all the courses is the encouragement for seekers and students to be in the moment, ever aware of the self as eternal consciousness that continues to have experiences even after the world of form has been left behind. Dr. Breese's presentations are becoming increasingly popular and well attended around the U.S. She has facilitated workshops at Brighton Bush Hot Springs in Oregon, Mount Madonna in California, and the Edge Life Expo in Minnesota, to name a few, with more scheduled for the near future. Christine, welcome to the show.
Why, thank you. It's lovely to be here.
What is your opinion regarding looking for happiness outside oneself?
Well, the first thing I would ask is, well, where is it? Where are you going to find it? It's not like you go to a store and buy it off the shelf.
Would that it were.
Yeah, if you could only bottle that stuff. Well, happiness is a product of consciousness, and you're the only one who can produce it within your own consciousness. And you can't get happiness from experiences or people. It's how your consciousness is responding to what's happening around you and outside of you. And so happiness is not something you get outside of yourself. It's something you produce in a reaction to what's outside of yourself, or something that you just produce no matter what's happening outside of yourself. And that's the sign of a true master, is when you can produce it no matter what's happening.
Mm-hmm. What sequence of events led you to look inside yourself for happiness?
The fact that I couldn't find it anywhere. And I couldn't buy it off the shelf either. Mm-hmm. I've been through hard times just like everyone else, but the good times just there was something that was empty. There was something that was missing. Why was I seemingly having an okay life, but I wasn't happy? And I couldn't figure that out for the longest times, why things were pretty much good for me, but I wasn't happy. And then I discovered that happiness can happen no matter what experience I'm having. It just has to be something I choose, no matter what the experience is. And even though you might have a different preference and you want it to go differently, mm-hmm. you still have to decide, well, am I going to be happy anyway, even though I'm not getting what I want? And that was a big step for me to discover.
Let me ask you something. How did you hit upon being a peaceful witness to your mind, which is also known as identifying with the awareness or attaining inner peace? How did you hit upon that?
Well, guided meditation is the place to start. For a beginner, it's very difficult to really work with being in a still mind and getting the mind to stop moving. It's a monkey mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
We're all born with it.
Mm-hmm.
And guided meditation is a great way for a beginner to start because the ultimate goal is to be able to sit in silence and go to the deepest realms of consciousness, but it's hard to do that until you have this skill, this muscle developed, and that takes time. So I would suggest to people getting as many guided meditations as you want, and I have some on our site for free and some to sell, and there's millions of guided meditations out there that people can get, and it's the best way to start as a beginner. Another great technique that I found, and this is something that I did for about a year, is be my own consciousness police.
Yes, yes.
And I used a device called a motive aider. It's all one word. And you'll find it on the internet. I think there's a place called Tools for Wellness or something like that where they sell it. And it's like a beeper that you put on your belt, and you can set it to buzz or vibrate every half hour or every hour. A lot of people use it to remind themselves to say their affirmations. But what I would do is I would use it to check my consciousness and see if my mind was somewhere else and if I needed to bring myself back into the present moment. So it acted as a checking device that would cause me to check and make sure I wasn't in the past or the future. I always came right back here to the moment, because the present moment is where the happiness is. Because usually it's a good moment. It's not a bad moment. Usually it's the mind that's making the present moment unhappy, usually.
Yes, yes. So how has attaining inner peace improved you as a person?
Well, I'm sure everybody around me would say I'm a lot nicer than I used to be and less stressed out, and I don't take life as seriously as I used to, so I'm a lot easier on other people and not blaming other people or thinking that everybody else is the problem. I mean, so many of us, we start in that place when we're on our spiritual path. That's where we start. We feel like we're a victim somehow and someone else is to blame for that. And when you learn how to get this inner peace and make peace with your past and make peace with the other people who were in your past, then suddenly everything gets a lot clearer, a lot calmer, and it makes you a better person all around in every way.
So how has attaining inner peace improved the lives of those around you? This happens, but I wanted to get your take on it.
Well, I'm not as crazy a human as I used to be anymore. I'm easier on people than I used to be. And we're all crazy. We all have the human condition. You don't get to be on the earth unless you take on the human condition. And
Yes.
the human condition is really dysfunctional, and every single person on the planet has their own version of human dysfunction. And by working on this inner peace, being in the moment, stilling the mind, just being really present for whatever's here in this moment, that makes the human conditioning take a back seat to the truth of who you are, which is eternal consciousness, living this dream of being human.
So what is your preferred method for getting started on attaining inner peace for people who want to know, who are interested and who want to get going on it?
Well, like I said, guided meditations is a great place to start because this teaches you how to start working with consciousness and maneuvering through consciousness. And if you don't have guided meditations, just following your breath is another great place to start. This is how I started, actually, was just following the breath, because following the breath in and out, it gives your mind something to do while your consciousness begins to separate and does other things. And so following the breath is a great beginner method for sitting in silence, and it creates really deep states. And I would also suggest learning about pranayama, which gives also other different types of breathing patterns and exercises, and it creates altered states. And you can find a lot of information about this on the internet.
You have come to the end of part 1 of this valuable interview. Please go to the page where you found this interview and click on the link to part 2. See you there.